Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Let's give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, and great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth, pushing this truth and the spirit, and sincerity, and the truth. Yeah, just some news around the world, news and prophecy. So that World War III, is right around the corner, man. That destruction is dear. Just a couple articles. First one is out of TASS.com. It's dated yesterday, July 6th. It's titled NATO Summit to present military confrontation with Russia to Trump as a business project. So they're about to sit down and have this meeting on July 8th. Today's the 7th. Preparations for military confrontation. So that things are, speeding up rapidly, heating up rapidly. The Iranian war is still going on. They claim they had like a ceasefire, all these little ceasefires, all these little peace agreements. But then it just keeps springing back up, springing back up again. But yes, as the NATO summit in Ankara will be the shortest in at least the last 20 years. It will consist of a working dinner on the evening of July 7th and a single plenary session on July 8th. The participants are set to consider three practical issues: preparations for a military confrontation with Russia. So they're preparing for NATO confrontation with Russia. Increasing arms supplies and funding for Ukraine and building up their own military capabilities. So, that's on the agenda of what they're going to talk about. This was the main thing that caught my eye. It was preparations for a military confrontation with Russia. Reading on, it says the meeting's duration has been minimized to reduce the likelihood of disagreements with U.S. President Donald Trump. The scripture says that NATO is going to, hate the whore. NATO's going to turn their back on America, burn her with fire. So it's interesting that all this is playing out. For the same reason, Vladimir Zelensky will not be permitted to speak at the summit. He will only participate in a defense industry forum on the sidelines of the meeting. So yeah, man, they're gonna have this talk tomorrow on the 8th, July 8th, regarding preparations for military confrontation with Russia, man. So that's interesting. But we all know, per the scriptures, that Russia is going to be a guard unto Iran. The second article is out of Politico, entitled U.S. Launches Powerful Strikes on Iran as Ceasefire Phrase. This was dated today, July 7th, 2026. So that ceasefire, it didn't last too long. But we all know, as the scriptures say, Russia is going to be that guard unto Iran. And that's when, they're going to come to their protection, and that World War III will, kick off. It says that U.S. forces have launched new strikes against Iran, placing further strain on a ceasefire that has been under increasing strain in recent days. The U.S. Central Command said in a statement Tuesday that the powerful attacks were launched in response to Iranian forces attacking 3 commercial vessels. The Defense Department Combatant Command accused Iran of targeting and attacking commercial shipping crude by innocent civilians in international waterways. So Iran doesn't care, man. Saying Iran or Iranian actions in the Strait of Hormuz were unwarranted, dangerous, and a clear violation of the ceasefire. So this thing is just going to heat up more and more, the U.S. Central Command. But The Lord said, I'll keep thee far from the northern army, northern command, NORCOM, for his hopeful elect, that is. But, there's other prophecies that must come to pass. But, we're close in this thing, man. The Lord said, when this word is preached unto all nations, then the end shall come, roughly paraphrasing. And this word has been spread across, all nations through the internet, man. It's worldwide now. So we're at the end. The book of Daniel says, knowledge shall be increased, and that'll be the time of the end as well. And then the seals have been, broken by Yahweh Shai. So this knowledge is out. So we're at the end times, man. We're close. This is Zephaniah 1:14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Yeah, the day of the Lord is near, man. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Yeah, the mighty men are going to cry there bitterly, man. Tough guys out here. The military guys, they're going to cry there bitterly. That's how bad it's going to get. That great and terrible day of the Lord. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness, gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Yeah, the book of Amos says, what is it for you to desire the day of the Lord? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Yeah, so it'll behoove you to get right with Yahweh Shai and to repent, pray for that mercy, man. So the Lord can keep you hid in that day, man. And ultimately deliver your spirit, man, from that nuclear destruction, man. This is a day of darkness and gloominess, man. 200 million missiles touching down, destroying this place. In different places all around the world. America's going to be totally wiped out. Israel's going to be totally wiped out. So it's going to be a bad day in different parts of the earth. We're going to get hit, resulting in, mushroom clouds and covering up the sun and the moon and stars. Just a day of darkness and gloominess, man. A day of thick clouds. Thick darkness, man. The book of Joel described it as thick clouds, man. A day of the trumpet against defense cities and against thy towers, and I'll bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, man. Who are the only people that can sin? The Israelites. This time of Jacob's trouble, this destruction, ultimately, is for you Jakes, man. And for the other nations too. The Lord said the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. But that time of Jacob's trouble is called the time of Jacob's trouble for a reason, man. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. You can't buy your way out of this, man. You can't buy your way out of the chip. You can't buy your way out of this destruction, man. You can't buy your way out of this famine. Everyone is going to have to deal with this on the planet Earth, man. But only Lord's elect is going to get through it, man. They're going to be the ones that are protected. They're going to be the ones that are going to be hid, man. So there's a reward for this work, man. For doing this work. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So the whole land of America, man, is going to be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, that nuclear destruction, right? It's going to be the outcome of this, man. That's why they have to hold these meetings, prepare for a military confrontation with Russia, because Russia is a nuclear power, China, nuclear power. And they're going to come to the protection of Iran, And Iran doesn't care about, peace treaties and ceasefires and all that. They want what they want, man. The whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy at nuclear destruction, man. Yeah, eventually NATO is going to turn on America too, man. Scriptures say that they shall hate the whore, man. 10 horns, the beast, that's represents the NATO and the EU. And they're going to turn, eventually hate the whore. And we're seeing that now. These NATO leaders, they hate Trump. They don't like Trump, especially with that whole, it all started with the whole Greenland. And that talks of Greenland is starting to pop up again. Trump wants that land, Greenland, most likely for those data centers, Everything's starting to come to light. Military operations for Greenland, maybe, possibly. But he wants that land, and he's trying to get it. The Lord said, for he shall make a speedy riddance, even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Yes, Scripture say for 1 hour, what's this place going to be taken out? In 1 hour. That's speed to 250 years, from America to get to this point. Even longer than that, 300 years. Because Jake was building this place up in slavery, building up the wealth, that cotton production. 300 years, to build up this country, 300 plus years. It's only going to take 1 hour to destroy it, take it down, man. That's a speedy riddance. Zephaniah 3 and 8, remaining in Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. Yeah, we're supposed to wait on the Lord, man. We're not supposed to take action to our own hands, man. So sit back and enjoy, the festivities. Let the Lord roll in spirit. You'll be out there trying to march and get caught up in those race riots. Lord said, wait ye upon me till I rise up to the prey. You're not going to be able to take Esau, with his blessing, the weapon, with the guns. You're not going to be able to defeat Esau like that, man. You have to wait for the Lord. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms. Yeah, he's doing that now, man. Gathering the nations where? Over in the Middle East. Over there in the Middle East, man. That I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation. The nation. That's a righteous anger, a destruction, man. Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, that fire of the Lord's jealousy again, man. For then will I turn to the people of pure language. So all these things must come to pass first, man. Destruction has to come. Then the kingdom comes. Then the Lord will turn us back to our pure language. We're starting it right now, We're getting that Hebrew back right now. We're getting that culture back, our heritage back now. But for then will I turn the people of pure language, and they may all call upon my name, or call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent. Yeah, man. His name is Yahushai, man. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. And we're going to get to the day, there's going to be a day when we're all going to call upon the Lord with one consent, man. There ain't going to be no camps out there calling on, these different names, Christ bless and all that, man. One mind, man, one consent. Last scripture is Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past. Woe means destruction or war. The second world war is past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. Yeah, World War III, man. It's coming quickly. We're seeing that. These prophecies, man. For it tarry, won't tarry. It's coming to pass right now. Wait for it shall surely come, man. Yeah, so Iran isn't backing down. Right here in that political article, it says a clear violation of the ceasefire, man. So Iranian actions in the Strait of Hormuz were unwarranted, dangerous, and a clear violation of the ceasefire, man. So who knows if that was really is the case? Politico, but this war isn't slowing down, man. We just read it's the Most High's determination, to gather these nations. The Most High is controlling these leaders, and and what they're planning on doing, man. He's putting it in the minds of these different leaders, man, to work out his agenda. Yeah, man. As Lord said, till the day that I rise up, we pray for my determination is to gather the nations and assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my nation. Where over there in the Middle East, where they're gonna be all gathered, Valley of Jehoshaphat, Valley of Decision, man. Yeah, I just wanted to news and prophecy, bring out some current events that's going on around the world. Yeah, but with that, shalom.